People be like, why do you like living in China?
Tracksuit, it's Run DM.
This is China. I'm in Chongqing, China. Okay, they look like they're living in 3030.
China is mogging the US so hard that even my MAGA father is like, wow, seems like China's really good at building things.
China's great. I saw a railway. Can you off enough? Positive views now among Americans toward China, up 13 points since 2023. Yes, effectively communist China.
All it took was LED lights.
COVID China? Yeah, COVID China, Uyghur China, banning Bibles, depending where you are, China, jailing their own citizens, China. Yes, that China. They now rank 5 points higher than the United States on Gallup's Global Leadership Index.
Oh my gosh.
And I have seen this from a lot of people on the right, going, why can't we build these nice things like China? Well, because our whole country isn't a glorified Blazing Saddles town with a fake village for visitors. How about that? And there is an active push to not only delegitimize the United States, but destigmatize China's authoritarian communist regime. And it's working. You've encountered this propaganda online.
Is it a very Chinese time in your life? Social media users are adopting habits like drinking hot water, wearing slippers at home, and doing traditional Chinese exercises to become a Chinese baddie. It's all part of Chinamaxxing, a trend where young Westerners are embracing Chinese culture and aesthetics online.
People be like, why do you like living in China?
Tracksuit, it's Run DM.
This is China. I'm in Chongqing, China. Okay, they look like they're living in 3030.
So it still looks now like we're on the ground floor.
How many times does this have to be done?
This over here, it says we're on the 22nd floor.
Whoa, Skybridge?
It's 10:40 at night right now. I'm walking
on
the street in Shanghai completely alone, and I feel 100% safe.
Because you're bigger than the men.
This could never happen in New York City.
And then you go a few miles outside the city and people are so poor they eat shoes. Okay. Here I am.
In a field?
Outside of the city. So poor.
China is a very, very large country, and the goal of the Chinese government is to serve the Chinese people.
Really?
Right. It's all convenient because she doubles as a picnic table.
It is wild because China is mogging the US so hard that even my MAGA father is like, wow, seems like China's really good at building things. He's like, well, why don't we build stuff like that in this country? Oh, gee, I don't know, Dad. Maybe it's because we spend all our money bombing Venezuela.
Wrong. China is now a peer with the United States, at least, almost no matter how you measure it.
Really? Well, not in height.
Not really. Here's how we can measure it. So for the same reason, a lot of these people are praising China, they should be critical. Because on the flip side of that equation, they criticize the United States. The criticism that you hear is, we can do all of these things as it relates to foreign affairs, but we can't insert entitlement program here.
Right.
Well, look at all this debt someone's gonna come knock, or we have to pay the bill for foreign wars. A very, very small percentage when you actually look at where our debt comes from, but I shouldn't say very, very small, relatively speaking. But let's use that same standard and apply it to China, assuming it's not just a communist hellhole. Their debt to GDP, 300%. Ours is about 123. 600 million people in China live on $140 a month. Youth unemployment, people talk about that here, Gen Z, 16.5%. That's twice as high as the United States.
Yep.
So any metric that you want to use and claim that this administration is falling short and everyone is the same, well, okay, you'd have to apply that to China, and it's even worse. It is much more bleak than the influencers who are given talking points want you to understand. You know, most multivitamins are crap. Proprietary blends of stuff you don't need. It's not even what's on the label. That's why we created Foundation Daily. Clinically effective ingredients at their clinically effective doses. Vitamins A through zinc, plus curcumin, turmeric, and garlic to help you with some aches and pains. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Plus, you can get a certificate of analysis on every batch sold, so what's on the label is exactly what you're getting. Go to foundationdaily.com to start your subscription today. Foundation. It's a knockout.
Welcome to China's trend, where people pay to pretend to have a job. People clock in, they take office selfies, they even go to pretend interviews. And some places literally forbid office romances so the fake workplace won't turn into a K-drama.
It's Portland.
And I know people say we have homeless here. Yeah, but they're not homeless because they've been boxed out of working for speaking against the government.
Happens a lot
these
there.
Copycat mass attacks. Somebody has some sort of grievance. They end up taking it out on complete strangers. And then we have this type of thing of the government trying to stop it from happening.
Is that their Sarah McLachlan?
Oh, jeez. Perfect.
And if it's not enough just to understand what a horrible place it is, and it's an ideology that is incompatible with someone who values freedom, the Constitution, Western Christian values, okay, then let me just bring you to the direct attacks, the direct threats, the direct attempts to subvert. People will point to the USS Liberty, and I'm not going to get into that today, but let's just take everything at face value. Okay, great, got it. Terrible. Once. It's like every couple of months with some kind of attack or a biological weapon from China. So if people say, we have to excommunicate this one group because we can point to this one example, okay, I'm about to give you like a dozen. I don't even remember as to how many we wrote down. The first one is just funny as a jumping off point. Former Indiana University postdoc researcher Yu Huangxiang was sentenced to plead guilty to smuggling, this is a real thing, E. coli in women's panties, which were, by the way, promptly ordered in bulk by Katy Perry. That explains. According to a filing from the Justice Department, the package in question originated from Changshu SciTech Innovation Trading, and the shipping manifest declared that the package contained, quote, underwear of man-made fibers, other women's. But let me give you some other examples. March 2026, and let's just hit these so I can rapid fire them. Check all the references. We make them available 11 a.m. Eastern every day. There's a bibliography. We're the only show that does it. March 2026, Chinese-American siblings fled to China after placing IEDs outside of the MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa Bay. February 2026, illegal China-linked biolab that was containing human samples was found in Las Vegas. November 2025, 3 Chinese nationals at U of M were charged with conspiracy to smuggle biological materials. Also, I should preface this with, these people are never acting alone. The spies coming from China, it defies, it's very, very hard to comprehend just how pernicious it is. Yeah. November 2025, U of M researcher and a Chinese national pled guilty to smuggling crop fungus. October 2024, 5 Chinese nationals were charged for spying at Camp Grayling in Michigan. October 2024, Chinese intelligence, a hacking group, Salt Typhoon, infiltrated American telecom companies. May 2023, Chinese military hacking group, Volt Typhoon, found embedded in U.S. critical infrastructure. That's the headline there. March 2023, China-linked biolab housing Ebola, HIV, and COVID was found in Reedley, California. January 2023, a Chicago Chinese electrical engineering student was convicted for spying for the CCP. Convicted. August 2020, UCLA mathematics student was arrested for transferring sensitive software to the Chinese military. Then, of course, you also have them spying on Congress with Fang Fang, who Eric Swalwell was allegedly banging. You have 96 to 2014, Dianne Feinstein's personal driver was a Chinese spy the entire time. God. Not to mention the often overlooked fact that the global consensus in the scientific community, remember, trust the science, is that COVID came from a lab in Wuhan and not a wet market. And by the way, if you said that only a few years ago, the pro-Chinese big tech companies banned you for being critical. Do you want to apply the standard equally? China's great. I saw a railway. Can you off enough?
Look, their buildings have so many lights.
People go, USS Liberty. Okay, great, fine. All the time from China. These are only the ones that we've caught. How is this catching on? And it really does make you wonder, how is this gaining traction in the supposed conservative right-wing sphere? And who's pushing it? Well, you know who's pushing it. How is it gaining traction? I see Marxists. I see the same everywhere. Marxists. They go, well, China, we're trying to oppress them. So we're bad. We're the oppressor. China's the oppressed. It fails to take into account their actual oppressing of their own citizens and attempts to destroy your country. But propaganda works. Propaganda works, and you need to be vigilant. When I started here on YouTube, we all thought, hey, this is great. We're going to be able to circumvent the gatekeepers and legacy media, and we were able to. It really is, though, a difficult endeavor to contain misinformation out there. And it's not just because anyone can deliver it. We kind of always lived in that situation. It's that so many people now with a shorter attention span are not only willing to, are eager to consume it and share it. Not saying you have to be a member of Mensa, but you do have to go beyond the headline.
Yeah.
And with China, start off with, what do they believe? What's their goal for the globe? And ideally, in their perfect world, what would happen to the United States? It would cease to exist. So I'm anti-China across the board. That's never changed.
Absolutely. And the problem is you have to be the filter. You can't just depend on X or Instagram or anybody else to filter this information out. You have to be the filter in this stuff. To look at this and go, wait a minute. Who is out there talking about this? Oh, yeah. All these leftist Marxist people are out there doing this.
Right.
That should be the tell right there. That's it.
Yeah.
They're shilling for Iran. They're shilling for China. They're shilling for Russia. It's like, well, maybe they make some reasonable points about some things. Okay, the lights do look good, Josh. Lights are fun sometimes, yeah. No free speech, no ability to own weapons. The government can come and weld you into your apartment if they deem it necessary. Happened? Maybe not. Maybe that's not the best place to be.
If you grew up in an area where you missed your graduation, where you had family members who died alone because you couldn't visit them, where you had to do all of your schooling from home by Zoom, if you're part of the generation that has a record level of mental health afflictions, substance abuse, difficulties navigating social interactions, just know that that unprecedented level of affliction that your generation is facing, it's China. COVID was China. It was biological warfare. And now some people want to say because they have a nice public transit system, actually, we were wrong about this. Come on, guys. You're still here on YouTube. Remember when we could say whatever we wanted on YouTube and people didn't have to censor out words like gay? See, even that, right? That's not even a swear word. Or the word sex. Even if you're just talking about it, you're not saying anything profane. That's why I live stream on Rumble 5 days a week. Go subscribe over there on Rumble, where you get the live show every single day. If you're still using this archaic form of delivery for information on YouTube, I don't want to judge, but your father hates you.